Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue, down the shore at the new Union Lake National Golf Club, formerly known as Sand Barons, but now it's going through a major renovation. As you can see, there's some heavy-duty equipment, some heavy lifting being done. It's a project that could last for the next 2 or 3 years, and it's in the hands of the original architect, the internationally renowned Dana Fry. We'll talk to Dana about the plans he has for the new Union Lake National Golf Club. It's next on Inside Golf.
Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirstteephiladelphia.org. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And by Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. By the Haverford Trust Company. Quality is in our DNA. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.
Cirque du Soleil is bringing its newest hit, the tented show Volta, to Montgomery County. The event of the season opens July 12th under the Big Top on the grounds of the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center in Oaks. A limited engagement, Montco is Cirque's only showstop in the Philadelphia region. Cirque's 41st original production, Volta is a story about the freedom to choose and the thrill of blazing one's own trail. With 2,600 seats, the authentic circus experience showcases BMX biking, ballet, rope skipping, and acrobatics set to a striking score. Tickets are on sale now, so reserve your seats and then turn your night out into a getaway by booking a stay at one of Montgomery County's 75 world-class hotels. To celebrate the Volta performances, some of Montco's best attractions and restaurants are also offering special Cirque deals when you buy your tickets, like free admission or desserts, and even specialty cocktails. For more information, check out valleyforge.org/Cirque.
I'd be nowhere near the golfer or person that I am today without Cam. We don't hold our thoughts back with each other, and that's why we're able to be so successful.
Jordan brought with him a tremendous desire to achieve, whether it was that first day that we met or every session thereafter.
One of the epic performances.
Accomplishing these lifetime goals, could not have done it without Cam.
The best stories end in thanks. Share your story at ThanksPGAPro.com.
Welcome back to Inside Golf. We're here at Union Lake National, just outside of Avalon, New Jersey. Used to be known as Sand Barons, as we mentioned, and the gentleman who knows it probably as well as anybody in terms of the property is the golf course architect, Dana Fry. Dana, you get the chance now to work on a project you helped develop 20-some years ago, right?
Sure did.
How about that? I mean, it's like a mulligan for a guy like you.
It is like a mulligan, and with the plans that the Union League have for the place and the trust they put in us, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
When you came back and had the chance to start looking at this property, I don't know how long it's been since you saw it the last time, did things automatically hit your eye and you said, boy, I wonder why I did that and I want to do it this way this time around?
Well, a lot of what I saw is, which is typical of golf courses, the golf course had become really overgrown, and the vegetation along the perimeters, along the tree line, had really tightened the golf holes to the point it became really tight. And I think the very first thing I said within a matter of the first hole in walking around with Jeff McFadden and the other people from the Union League is how, substantial tree removal was going to be a top priority. For two reasons. Number one, for air circulation, sunlight to grow the proper grass, but also for playability issues.
Talk about Jeff McFadden, the general manager, a man of vision in a number of areas, and certainly golf now is part of it. And you told me before we started this interview, two things that he wanted to stress were visibility of the golf course, what it looks like to the eye, and also playability for the members. Right?
Absolutely.
They're the two real core guiding points for you.
Yeah, Jeff was, I've been building golf courses since 1983, and I can say this unequivocally, he's the best general manager I have ever dealt with. He thinks outside the box in a bigger picture than almost anybody I've ever dealt with. And he saw that the key to making the course really successful and enjoyable was making clearing wider, so you had far bigger play spaces, but also making it visually impactful. And those were his two mandates, and that was his vision, absolutely, which coincided with what I wanted to do as well. But he really saw that and has put the trust in us to do it.
Well, Union League took over Sand Barons last fall.
It was October,
and
yeah.
it's been a tough winter, tough spring for the workers, for people like yourselves, but in a short period of time. I mean, you've done yeoman work here in terms of opening up this thing, let it breathe, and we get an idea of what it's going to be like when the project is completed.
Yeah, we started, the holes that we've worked on primarily are the 5 holes that are closest to the clubhouse that everybody sees coming in and out when they're finishing, starting a 9 and finishing a 9. And we did that for a reason, so people could really get the feeling of what we're doing. So that is what we concentrated on. We started clearing trees, I think it was in February, and moving dirt probably in March, and we've been working nonstop since then, and we'll continue that for another couple of years.
Talk about moving dirt. We are standing right now on one of the highest elevations in Cape May County, I think, all man-made, because it's fill taken from other parts of the golf course that's going to be an integral part of the new golf course here, the new 3 nines that you're constructing. Tell us about this. What do you call this area?
Well, this is
the big hill.
One of the interesting things here, the site was dead flat when we first got here, you know, the first thing you noticed, and I'm talking 20 years ago. But the water table is anywhere from 3 or 4 feet to 10 feet down in the ground, so we could cut down into the ground. And that's really important to me, and the way I was trained when I worked with Tom Fazio is because to make golf courses that are on flat ground look natural, especially in a heavily treed site, is difficult unless you can cut in the ground. That's important because if you can cut, and here you'll see these massive areas that look like big sand areas, those things are cut in the ground anywhere from 4 to 6 feet between number 1 and number 9 here. And the fairways are literally at or slightly below natural grade. So if you look here, you can see the base of every single tree. You almost never see that on a flat golf course because people invariably fill the fairways, they fill the greens to make things drain off to the side to make it properly drain. Here we cut everything in the ground to make it drain. And then that's going to repeat itself for 27 holes. And all of that fill, the vast majority of that fill is all coming to one fill, which we're standing on.
Right.
And this is maybe 10%, 15% of the fill that will happen. And it looks like you say
it's huge.
It's huge.
It's going to be
substantially larger, wider, and longer than what we are now, and come up about 10 more feet in elevation.
And we can see from this vantage point how things have really opened up behind us. As we look over here, we see pretty dense with trees, but that's going to open up almost as much as what is
well in this
us, right?
particular area. This is going to really open up because almost everything you see here going for about 150 to 200 yards, all of the trees will be cleared. And then even down a couple of the holes spurring off the sides, we're going to start running ridges down. So we'll be clearing down a couple more of the golf holes, another 150 yards down either of these golf holes and down this golf hole. So off of the main fill is going to be these spines that go off of it. And then eventually we'll have 4 sets of tee complexes for 4 different holes and 4 greens complexes, all tying into this fill. Mm-hmm. And now I've talked about clearing a lot of trees, but what is of equal and even more importance is the revegetation of the hillside when it's done, because we're then going to come and plant, this site is 90% oaks and pine trees. We're going to come back in and replant this hillside in between the tees complexes and around the greens complexes, so it sits back in between the pines and oaks that exist everywhere else on the property.
Something that people will notice if they've come here and will come here soon is the planting of grasses, natural grasses that kind of give it that Pine Valley feel, right? Well, and that's pretty much the intent too, right?
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago I took the entire crew here. the construction crew, the superintendent. We had about 8 people, and we toured Pine Valley for about 4.5, 5 hours. And my partner, Jason Straka, who is a Cornell grad in environmental golf design, actually picked out about 12 to 13 different ornamental grasses and shrubs that are going to be the dominant plants that we plant in these native waste areas. Those plants are the exact same variety of what Pine Valley has on the ground today. So you're seeing them. We've already got 20,000 little plants in the ground, potted plants and plugs in the ground. By the time we're down, we're going to have, we don't even know yet.
How many?
There could be a couple 100,000 of these plants planted, and then we're also, a lot more will still be done with seed, because you can seed some of these plants, and we can seed them by hand, and then we'll put a hydromulch on them. So the planting and the revegetation of this site cannot be overemphasized how big it is. This is one of the biggest jobs I've ever been involved with, and I've been in the business since '83. It's a big project.
You talked about signature holes and designs. The one signature, I guess, green, it's actually a double green here. 50,000 square feet of green for 2 different holes. It's been here since the original. What went into the original design? When you and Dr. Michael Hurston did this project 20-some years ago, who came up with that idea of the double green?
Well, when we built the course, I was here almost every week. And then when we built that was my idea. Now, we had, a few years before, Dr. Hurston and I had done a project in Toronto called the Devil's Paintbrush. And we did a green that was a little over 50,000 square feet, and it had 2 golf holes heading into it and the putting green, so it served 3 purposes. And I mentioned it to Malcolm and Edson, the previous owners,
yeah.
The brothers, and they thought it was a great idea, and that's how it came about. And the other thing about these greens, because we haven't talked about that, these greens, the site's all sand. These are push-up greens, and there's no drainage in them. It's just the sand from the site, and we just put smile drains at the exit points. So there's virtually no drainage in these greens, which is very unusual, but the soil here is that good.
Right.
The other thing that's important to mention about the greens here, with a few exceptions, we have 27 holes, and right now we built 5 so far. We did one, we added a pin placement on number 1 over there. The other holes, the only green we know for a fact we're going to completely rebuild is the 8th hole down beneath, because we're going to raise that green about 20 feet.
Right. So the greens, the design, the contours are not really the big part of the project.
The greens are, for the most part, going to stay exactly the way they are. We are expanding. They had shrunk in size. We're enlarging them back to where they were. The greens averaging close to 10,000 square feet, which is really big by modern standards. Most courses would be 6,000 square foot average. But the reason that is these greens, as they exist, have some really big, bold contours in them, and to get the pinnable space you need, if you're going to put that big of contours in them, you need the bigger spaces so you have a lot of pin positions.
You've been busy doing this all around the world. In the U.S., of course, where you got your start. I mean, Erin Hills from a year ago, one of your projects for the U.S. Open. Here in the Philadelphia area, you've done a handful of great golf courses, Fieldstone, Militia Hill at Cricket Club, Jericho National, back here now at Union League National. Is this going to be a real favorite project of yours?
Well, to show you how important this project, well, number one, I can't overemphasize the trust and the capital that Jeff McFadden and our Union League are putting into this project. And I take it really serious, and I'm here almost every week spending 2 to 3 days. So this has gone beyond a normal project for me, and this is a real personal quest now, because I know for a fact we are going to build one of the great golf courses in the northeastern U.S. The people that have been here almost probably will just shake their heads when they hear something that bold, but that's how much I believe in this. I think it is going to be that good. Wow. And again, it all goes back to one man and a man with a big vision, and that's Jeff.
You're off to a great start. It looks great now. I can't imagine what it's going to look like in 3 years. Dana, thanks for taking time out from your busy schedule. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Dana Fry, world-renowned golf course architect, making another imprint here in South Jersey at the new Union League National Golf Club. And we'll be back here at Union League National with more on Inside Golf. Stay with us. Coming up next. Welcome back to Inside Golf. We're in, right outside of Avalon, Swainton, New Jersey, the site of the Union League National Golf Club, with Jacob Hoffer, who is the general manager. And Jacob, you've been actually associated with Union League Golf since the time the league purchased Tarsdale.
Yes, sir. I came on as part of that acquisition under our director of golf up there. It's kind of his right-hand man at Tarsdale. Got to see that project through the renovation. And now fortunate enough to be doing it again down here.
Another renovation.
Yes, sir.
You've been on property since literally the deal was signed back in late October.
That's correct.
Here you are, full-time job. Things have really taken off. I'm amazed in a very relatively short period of time how things have changed. But talk about the renovation. We talked to Dana Fry, who's got his hands in the dirt, it seems, a lot here on site. What is your projection? When is everything going to be finished, do you think?
So the idea for the golf course, we're doing it multiple phases. We're looking at probably a 2.5 to 3 year process between the 3 nines that we have out there. Obviously having Dana come on in February and really dig in and get started, we got to see what that process entails, and we do think that we should be just about full go by 2021.
You have a sizable number of Union League members who have signed up to play golf here on a regular basis. What's been the reaction, the early reaction?
So the feedback's all been positive. Everybody's really excited, especially those who have played the golf course prior, to see them come down, get to see what it was previous versus what it is now. They get to see the long-term vision of what the club and the design will be. And the culture is really taking off here, which is really important for a summer club to really drive a great culture. So the feedback's been great on both golf and clubhouse.
What do you look at in terms of projecting the type of schedule in season, off season here at the Union League National?
So we feel like the off season is going to be in those early parts of April, probably April 1st, right around Masters Week, up until Memorial Day. And then from Memorial Day to Labor Day, that's when we really are full bore. That's when we have our prime season. Between Memorial Day and Labor Day, that's going to be go time for us and our members. That's when the majority of them spend their summers in the area. And then following that, right around Columbus Day, we expect that things will really start to taper off, and then through November up until Thanksgiving, we'll probably start to wind things down right around Thanksgiving time.
The clubhouse here at Union League National is original footprint of what was here for the past 20 years. Correct. Under the name Sand Barons, but things were really changed internally, especially. You've done a great job. Patio dining, porch dining, you have a nice clubhouse grill, for want of a better term. Really done a nice job fixing things up here. Huh?
We're very proud of it. I mean, mainly cosmetic work in there, as you said. The footprint of the golf club and the clubhouse itself has stayed mainly the same, but we are very proud of the outcome, and the member feedback's been great.
Do you see, you know how a lot of clubs, I mentioned like Pine Valley, for instance, they have on-site rooms for people coming in from around the country. Do you see down the road, once you get everything finished on the golf course, possibility of a destination spot where members can bring guests in from around the country, stay 2 or 3 days right here on site?
Without question. I think that could be one of our bread and butter things that we do here. Just like you mentioned, Pine Valley, places like Caves Valley, they all do that so well. And making it a destination for our members to be able to come down, entertain some guests for a few days, have them stay and play. It's going to be a really great thing where they can entertain at the golf course, at the beach. We think it would be a great amenity to add, and we do plan to do that down the road.
I should mention, Jacob, in addition to being the general manager here at Union League National, is also a PGA professional. Yes, sir. Do you get a chance to play?
I haven't been playing as much as I would like to, but I think every PGA professional can say that. With that said, we're getting to that point in the season where we start thinking about playing in some events in the fall and late summer. And playing with our members is one of the most important things we do. So we try to make time for that as best as possible.
Must be nice to show up every day and see progress.
Yes.
One day to the next, hour to hour almost here.
Yeah, one of my favorite things a member said to me a couple of weeks ago is that they feel like as they joined, it's like they're building a new house. And every time they show up at this new house, something's new, something's different, that they're getting to see the change happen right in front of their eyes. And that's one of my favorite feedbacks that we've gotten.
Jacob, thanks for having us.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Well, you figure coming to the Union League National Golf Club, you'd run into a prominent member. In this case, a former member. Yes, Honest Abe himself, President Abraham Lincoln, one of the founding fathers of the Union League in 1862. What's your handicap, Mr. President? The head pro here at Union League National is Doug Delaney. And Doug, you've been on site because the Union League's only been around since last October. How long were you here as the head professional?
I've been on this property for about 17 seasons. So I've been here through the Sand Barons days and out to the Union League National days.
What's the biggest difference on and off the court to Doug Delaney?
The scope of everything. The playability of the golf course is going to improve. The actual vision is going to improve. Everything that I've walked into from day one, every day got a little different and improved so much. And they've only been working on the property since about February. And since then, I've seen so many good things happen. I've learned so many good things. And it's really been quite an education for me as a golf professional.
You know, it's different now. Sand Barons was a public daily fee golf course. This is open to Union League members only and their guests. So play is down a little bit. That's a good thing, I guess, maybe a bad thing, but in terms of availability, with 27 holes especially, ample opportunity for members of the league and their guests to come out here and play
Correct,
golf.
yes. The main part of our schedules are Friday through Sundays. That's when we see a lot of play. With 27 holes, we can manage play very well, pace of play. One particular aspect, we could juggle, what we like to call juggling. So if someone's a little slow on one side, we could reroute them to another side and just play off of that 3-9 aspect. But yeah, it's quite a different type of course with 27 holes. It's really meant for private course. This is a private course. It's meant to be that way with all the caddy programs that we have going on. Just the sight of a caddy walking down the fairway and from green to tee, it's very playable, that aspect as a caddy and walking. Yeah.
What has been some of the reaction you've received, feedback from the members once they go out there and test their skills?
They love it. Some folks that have been here before, some members that have been here before notice the difference right away. And the members that haven't been here before really see the scope of what has been done and what's going to be done with the course that hasn't been touched yet. So everybody's been very positive, very happy. They love the facility and they can't wait to see what's coming next.
And in terms of what events you have for members, you have the usual member guests, maybe some 9 and dine for couples?
We do. We have our member guests coming up in a few weeks. Our first 9 and dine was very popular. We had about 25 couples show up for that. So that was our first 9 and dine. So we expect that to get even better. We went light this year on the events because we were trying to figure out what we're going to do in the future summers to come. But so far so good. We've been really filling up on a lot of our events and it's been successful.
And for those members who want to practice their game without going out on the golf course, you have a range here that is probably second to none in the area.
We have a lot of area to hit balls for sure. We do have one putting green. In the fall we're going to expand and do a little short game area, but we have a dual-ended range. The one end is built for golf play, so to come over here, warm up, practice, whatever they want to do before the round or after the round. And then on the far end, we use that for clinics, juniors, anything with group aspects. But yes, the range itself is so much, it's really built for practicing because there's so much turf here. You can't really find a bad spot to go and practice.
You know, when you look back on it, since last October and the league took over, I mean, a year ago today, Doug, you never had any imagination of what this was going to be like.
No, we're all as a staff that has come over from the Sand Barons, very fortunate and very lucky. We are all extremely happy. We see the vision. We want to be a part of it, and we can't be in a better spot than we are right now.
Doug, thanks for having us.
Thank you, Mr. Donahue. Appreciate
Good luck.
it. Thank you very much.
All right. Stay with us. More to come from Union League National on Inside Golf in just a moment.
As long as there is fear, as long as there is curiosity, as long as there are undiscovered corners of the earth, and as long as there is willingness and desire, then you are capable of more. The BMW Championship is coming to Philadelphia September 2018. The top 70 PGA Tour players will be there. Will you?
The first tee of Greater Philadelphia, where golf is more than a game.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Inside Golf. Down the shore outside Avalon at the new Union League National Golf Club. You know, in a very short period of time, they have done so much to restore the 27 holes from the old Sam Barons to the new and future Union League National Golf Club. The two things they're emphasizing, visibility and how it looks, and also playability for their members. And in a short period of time, from what we've seen, and I'm sure you'd agree, they have done so much to take it farther down the road in terms of what it looks like and how it plays. It's in good hands with Dana Fry, Jacob Hoffer, the general manager, and the head professional, Doug Delaney. So, hope you enjoyed our little look at what's going on down the shore here at Union League National Golf Club. And we'll be back maybe in the future to give you some updates over the next 2 or 3 years. It's quite a spot. I'm Harry Donahue. Thanks for joining us, and remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, don't pick up. We'll see you next time on Inside Golf.
Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirstteephiladelphia.org. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And by Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. By the Haverford Trust Company, quality is in our DNA. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.